Kurt, start easy. What'd you like?
Well, obviously the three-point makes by the U.S. team. It's just uncanny that a team can make 29 of 45 three-point attempts. And it was probably a combination of the U.S. team just shooting the ball lights out and becoming contagious that everybody felt comfortable shooting threes, and Team Nigeria not making adjustments and running those three-point shooters off of the three-point line. But clearly the U.S. team just outclassed the Nigerian team in this ball game all the way around.
You've been a head coach. They always like to pick about something, have something to go back and say in the old speech. Seriously, what can Mike Krzyzewski say to his team after this game?
Well, he's probably not going to be able to say anything because he gave his team the day off before this ball game, so that's going to be their point of emphasis, that they had fresh legs, and that's why they were able to make all of those three-point shots. So they're not going to want to hear about having a hard practice tomorrow after having such an easy game today.
For those who boldly popped off that Team USA is beatable, either they heard this or they might want to change their tune, but do you see a weakness anywhere that might actually be able to happen?
Well, so far, except against Spain, where Spain played a really organized game of basketball offensively and defensively, but I don't think either coach in that friendly game wanted to show all of their cards and what could be expected a matchup in the medal rounds. But there hasn't been any opposition for this team. The U.S. team is clearly more physical, they're more athletic. Their defensive prowess has just been taking their opponents out of everything that they want to do offensively. Then they get out in transition and they're just impossible to stop. So right now, the U.S. team hasn't really had to do anything other than just be better than the opponents that they're playing. So it's unfortunate that they're really not getting to show what they can do against quality opponents. It's just they're completely outclassing their opponents right now.
Obviously, blowouts happen at every level. Even the NBA, some nights guys lose by 40. But here, any chance 46 threes is just a touch unsporting?
Well, it got to a point in the later stages of the game where the U.S. team, in my opinion, was just trying to look for three-point shots. They weren't trying to attack the basket for the most part. And that's a way for a coach to be able to run some time off the clock. Hey, let's work on some of our sets. Let's look at trying to get some post-up opportunities. Let's try to attack the basket. And yes, they ran some pick and rolls. They got some lobs for Anthony Davis. They did do some of those things. But it looked to me that they were just trying to build up the score at that point in time. And coaches shouldn't do that against opposing coaches. Clearly the U.S. team was much better than the Nigerian team, and the Nigerian team was not making any adjustments. But I agree with you. At that point in time, they were running up the score, and you could have probably said that about halfway through the third quarter, that they should have stopped looking for all those three-point attempts.
Very good. Kurt Rambis, former Laker, but still, many believe you to be a fine American. They'll excuse the Laker part. Thanks, Kurt.
Thank you.
Carmelo Anthony needed only 3 quarters to break the U.S. Olympic record for points in a single game. 37 points, and then he just zipped up the warm-up top, and he was done. Past Stephon Marbury, he dropped 31 points on Spain back in 2004. Melo also set a record 3-pointers made, 10 on 12 shots. Charles Barkley, Adrian Dantley back in '76 are the only other players to reach 30 points in the Olympics for the red, white, and blue.